as well. Blue buff still up and ready, and the Jade Dragons re-collapse on in. Sam for Soccer is blink forward, but he's caught a stun from Rapper on the backside. Winds of Shamash swirl on through on the blue buff, and Sam for Soccer's the first one to go down in this fight. Brought to you by Zeros from the mid lane. World Weaver connects with his target. First blood to the Valkyries.
Sam just not even, I would have expected Death's Toll for sure on Heim,
Right.
who has historically done very well with that extra sustain. He has good scaling, so the Transcendence makes sense to me in that regard.
Johnny looking for an engage, and instead he'll get riptided through. It's the Gilgamesh ultimate that separates out this fight, and Final K collapses, and Gilgamesh is down for the first time this game. Final K strikes Pater 10 minutes in. Panda Cat elsewhere. He's got a solo kill on the left-hand side. Rapper's able to trade one back. Sam now 0 for 2 here in this game. Jade Dragons not satisfied. They're on the chase.
And Fine's got the perfect angle. He's
Happened over there, and looks like just an easy 1v1 here for Panda Cat. You might not think it's an easy 1v1 though, Aggro. He ate a little bit more than half of his HP, but what a use of the ultimate there, the knockback. It's near perfect from Panda.
Yeah, and just good patience. Still not your best power spike ever. You know, it's not the Spear of the Magus of old, or, you know, the Rod of Tahuti Rush that we saw at the beginning of this year. You know, those felt better as second items, but this smooths your power curve out nicely.
It does. Panda Cat looks for blood. One more time, World Weaver flies in, connects onto Panda Cat. That'll give Sam for Soccer an easy kill. So now the Robin finally into the kill column. Sam for Soccer's been there for all the fights, but has largely been the target of the Valhalla Valkyries. A little experience in the back pocket of this Robin certainly feels good for Sam for Soccer up to this point. Zero's attempted to help out there, but now tough sledding for Emilito. You get the Charon's coin a little bit earlier, but haven't found the stacks just yet. Zero's plenty of HP now missing. Uses the beads. PBM wants more, though. Johnny does not. He'll jump out beneath the tier 1 tower, and will be the Yamoja kill. Not just yet. The auto's just a little bit short. It looks like Aggro, the pathing might just be enough here, and Johnny could survive, but look out for Fine OK trying to close that gap.
Yeah, really.
It's here for you and I on the graphics, and you love to see it. It keeps track of where those enhanced buffs are going, but without the Scorpion, which provides some of those enhanced buffs, Gold Fury is spawned, and the Jade Dragons have their eye on that prize.
Good root onto Mike, and now they're really heavy committing onto this Yamoja, and it might just work out.
Panda Cat finds the opening kill, and Johnny finds the second, one apiece as we brawl over the Gold Fury, but Raffer too low to re-engage, Panda Cat low as well. And it looks like support from mid is what we've got here. Jade Dragons may be feeling a little bit more confident in the way that that trade has gone for themselves, especially if Raffer gets caught out over here, over on the duo side of the map. Panda Cat will collapse with Sam for Soccer, and one more kill over to the Jade Dragons. Emilito trying to duel out here. Does not have the ultimate either. So if there's some CC, Emilito certainly feeling uncomfortable, but the Chronos will survive.
Low kill that went Panda Cat's way was so close. One auto attack was the difference.
Yeah.
And it's really just opened the game up for the Jade Dragons, because Panda has leveraged this lead perfectly. They kill Emil again off respawn as soon as he comes back. That's really the what makes it so difficult whenever you start to fall behind. It's not that first death. It's the fact that you respawn and then you only get a half a wave, a full wave maybe, and then you're instantly on respawn timer. Valkyrie's composition isn't necessarily built to fight through mid 3v3. You want to use that global ultimate elsewhere. A bit of an awkward spot now for the Valkyries.
They feel comfortable, not awkward around the Pyromancer, and they'll grab the objective. Raffer slowed and quite low here. Tanked up most of the incoming damage there for the Jade Dragons, and if he survives, he's been able to do his job, and Raffer has. So, a nice objective pullback there for the Valhalla Valkyries. If they're able to stay alive clean, well, might just have to forfeit this one. Raffer's had to go back to base, but Zeros tanks up a little bit of damage, and the Jade Dragons, they'll combine, they'll group up, and they'll push down tier 1 tower there in the mid lane. And this is what Final K looks like he's been doing over here. He's found a little bit of extra pressure, gets aggressive, but there's no chance Panda Cat survives from this one, right? No way. Emilito gets some help from his jungler and from the mid lane, and he'll get himself on the board.
Yeah, very surprised to see Panda Cat use the Aegis in that spot. That was going to catch up pretty quickly. These waves scale in XP really, really hard, so you can get back into it fairly quickly.
Fine, okay, engages onto Zeros. He uses the beads. then has to use the somersault to stay alive. Look at Johnny, he's scrapping in the backline, but he's all alone. Ultimate from Hurriwin fires down, and Johnny takes a seat, but now the rest of the Jade Dragons, sensing an advantage, they'll surge forward here. Raffer and Emilito find some safety in the tier 2 tower.
If that player, either Hurriwind or Emilito, survives a team fight, even if they don't get something like a Fire Giant, they could easily get a lot of towers off the map.
Speaking of Fire Giant aggro, the Valhalla Valkyries think that they've got a chance to do this one. Fine, okay, stunned down. The King Arthur likely to fall here, and Zero's just the one who picks up the kill. Plenty of AoE there for this Neath to grab one over the wall. Valhalla Valkyries were confident doing that one aggro. It seemed like the Jade Dragons had gone back.
Valkyries, and this is where, you know, their early game struggles, we're out of that part of the game. We're into the team fighting phase, and they've shown that you have to give them a lot of respect in these sorts of moments. The Dragons certainly have earned that as well. I'm excited to see what happens.
Oh, be careful, Valkyries. You're a man down, but PBM TKO'd from this fight. He'll have to escape on the back line. Nobody's gotten the kill just yet, but Ducky will leap on down and do so. Sanford Soccer 2v1 over here in the mid lane. He'll win one of those kills. Raffer probably has enough damage to grab this one on the back end. Sanford Soccer agrees, so he'll find the route, try to find an escape route, but the Dragons, they've lost a couple elsewhere in this fight. Hurriwind has died as well. PBM has found some damage over here onto Raffer. Fafnir, half HP now as the Oni Fury respawns. With that fight, Valhalla Valkyries find themselves just shy of 2,000, maybe just over 2,000 rather, gold in the lead of this game. They're in the driver's seat, but might not be if Emilito can't survive. Winds of Samash fly on through from Johnny here, and he'll dunk down into the backline. Sanford Soccer now overextended, chased down. Emilito on a killing spree after the way that this game had started for the Chronos. And watch the Valkyries run forth and watch the Dragons run away. PBM uses Riptide, but it's not going to be far enough. Big time lockdown, and Zeros picks up the second.
Man, the way the Valkyries are playing is just so clean right now. They're just picking apart the Jade Dragons and waiting for the Dragons to be the one to make the mistake. That all is a big deal. But Sam uses his, Mike uses his. It's not all bad here for the Valks.
Here we go, over in the mid lane, Ducky putting all of his damage into the Phoenix. Looks like he might be able to get it done here. But the Jade Dragons putting up a defense on the left-hand side. They found some damage, but Johnny's done the same. Hurriwind gone, but Johnny, you can say the same for the Gilgamesh Rapper. Has to transform back, and it's a double kill for Panda Cat. He's gone, no crit, but the attack speed doing him plenty of damage. Emilito walking away, Sanford Soccer chasing him down. This is a fight that the Jade Dragons happy to take, but look at the Valkyries. They backpedaled, they turned around the damage, and it's PBM and Sam limping away from the fight.
Oh no, they don't kill Emilito either. That should be it, Dave, because Sam can't close the deal on the damage to Emilito. Between the regen for the Fire Giant and Kronos' kit, I think the Valkyries are going to take game one.
They're going to walk on into the Titan room, that's for sure. PBM is full HP, does not have the River's Rebuke just yet. Hurriwind is up in 8 seconds, but Hurriwind won't have the 8 seconds. The Dragons won't have the 8 seconds, and the Valhalla Valkyries will have game number one.
Impressive from the Valkyrie for the Wingblade pickup. So you feel like you get to a point on this Chronos where it's pretty impossible to die. Dragons have to turn up the gas a little bit before that. I like the Chiron pick against the Chronos quite a bit, especially if Panda thinks that Bluestone's the way. You can do things like that, where no one leverages it better than Chiron. You have all three abilities proc it really, really easily. You can afford to play aggressive, and with trading exercise as that cleanse, it is impossible aggressively up against the Chronos.
Chiron, knock up immune while he's dashing as well, certainly feels good. Into something like the Sobek here. It's a purple buff invade. Polar Bear Mike will not be successful. Instead, PBM gets plucked right on back through. Emilito just trying to swing away, but there's your early game Chiron damage. They're going to need a little bit extra here. Panda Cat is left. He's on his own purple buff. This is maybe just buying some time for the leap to come off of cooldown, and the Great Escape by PBM is complete.
Wow, Red really shouldn't have got in for that jump. And the Hog Secure was there again from Rapperman. Look at this on the right, Ducky in trouble.
Piercing Moonlight used just to buy a little bit of time, and the root is there from Fine OK, but Ducky with the cow drops down, buys himself enough time for Johnny to re-engage on the fight, the stun into the wall, and Johnny on the board first now for the Valhalla Valkyries. Junglers both over in the solo lane, but it's Johnny who rotates over and finds a kill.
Unfortunate gank not going the dragon. And then the fact that Fine misses the push in the transformation, that would have gotten Ducky killed, but the fact that he's let off the hook there, certainly not feeling great for the Dragons.
Well, it's already an immediate difference, isn't it, for Johnny? I mean, I brought up the number 55. That's how much damage he had 7 minutes into game number 1. Now already a kill on the board, higher up in the damage charts. Just the collapse, the kick. Feels good. That's a big, impactful drop kick, and that's some of the fun we were hoping.
In this matchup, how many fights started with Zeros just hitting a root onto a frontliner and keeping the CC chain going? Stun into root into stun. You just don't have that option at all on Rom. You're CC light.
Left side of the map feels bad for the Valkyries. It's a 2-level lead for PBM, and it's going to get worse here. Hurrywin picks up his first kill of the game. Johnny trying to chase down the mid laner, but Hurrywin disapparates, but reappears on the map, and Zeros finds the final shot, the piercing kill, and Hurrywin goes down. It's a 1-for-1 trade, or 2-for-1, rather, as Johnny had fallen as well as Raffer, and it could be 3. Double kill for Panda Cat. Emilito stuck around just a little bit too long, takes some time to charge up the ult, and the Jade Dragons take control of the left side.
And this feels like what the Jade Dragons typically do.
To stay alive, right? Because this left-hand side is just starting to spiral. Emilito 2 levels down, Raffer 1 to 2 levels down, mid lane somewhat even. So if the game keeps going this pace for the Jade Dragons on the left-hand side, all Fine OK's got to do is to keep himself in it. One more shot from Panda Cat. Of course he's going to hit that one. 4-0 for the Chiron, 3-level lead. The Jade Dragons continue to find pressure on the left.
And just nothing for free. Nothing for free, including Emilito's life. Gets the beads and the ultimate. And Panda Cat's right here waiting for him. No shot that Emil gets out of it. That's Chiron from ahead damage right there. Valkyries, no response. And what are the Valkyries supposed to do? I mean, probably try and play around Ducky.
And even if we're able to get there, because despite the stumbles, this Jade Dragons team, one of the best in the league, that pushing an early lead. We wondered where the pressure would go then from the Valkyries. Right-hand side was the answer. Piercing Moonlight used. Johnny in as well, and the dropkick sends Final K stunned against the wall. Could turn around a 2v1. Final K finds it. Everyone else is in, including Sam for Soccer. It's a disastrous gank from the Valhalla Valkyries. They've got to find one here. Zeros is able to get that one, but the Jade Dragons turn around at least 3.
And the Dragons know the playbook, man. They've Bill Belichick the Valhalla Valkyries. They've stolen the playbook, and they know what's coming. They know that it's the right-hand side for Fido K that is the only vulnerable end of the map. They just show up in force. Sam's there right on time to come on through and play Cavalier as the rest of the squad comes in after the fact. Beautiful, beautiful execution by the Dragons.
Well, after this last year, is it Bill Belichicking or Tom Bradying? I don't know. Maybe the Valkyries, though no reply was expected. And now it's 8,000 in the XP department. And as you pointed out, Agro, most of that's sitting over in the duo lane. But there is still some pressure over onto Fido K. Johnny will leap on in. Fido K finds the knockup. Piercing Moonlight connects with the Thorns. Fido K transforms, pushes Ducky back in. And Fido K survives. Panda Cat is able to find a kill. Of course he does over on Emilito. More at 9 on that repeat headline. Ducky is able to find some pressure, though, here on the right-hand side. But Fido...
The 2v1, Fido K still manages to hold them off. Impressive stuff from him. And I thought Johnny played it well. I mean, you want to just wait until you know that he's used that ultimate so that your wins will keep him in and that you can bounce him back. But just too much defense and too much damage coming from Fine.
I get the feeling this is going to be a quick one, unless the rewind gets off.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, just blink of an eye. Seems right for Mercury there. Sam for Soccer dashes in. Game finishes itself off in a very clean manner for the Jade Dragons, not taking any unnecessary risks. Let's group up. Let's find those towers in a methodical way and move ourselves on to Game 3 if we're able to keep doing what we've done so far. And one way to do that is keep putting pressure onto Emilito and Raffer. No chance to survive there. It's an unstoppable Panda Cat 16 minutes into the game.
Fine, okay, Sam and Hurry looking for Zeros in the mid lane, just waiting for their food to drop. That's like everyone standing in line for lunch. It's who's gonna get fed first at that moment. They're all waiting for their opportunity, and Zeros on this ROM. Again, think about think about how this game plays out if Zeros is underneath, where Panicat gets ahead,
Right.
and he's playing up on tower lines. How much easier it is to kill him if you just send Johnny over and you hit him with a World Weaver. What is he gonna do? You know, he might be fed, but it's pretty hard to get away from that. On the ROM, you just don't have that type of threat on the map. They have similar impacts in terms of being able to ult from far away, but really far apart in terms of actual effectiveness of it.
Oh man, Johnny attempts to look towards the FG, but it is already gone, and he accepts his fate there as Hurrywind will pick up the 5th kill of the game now on this Soul. With that FG, it feels like the snowball that was a big rock now officially transforms into a boulder. I don't know what the here. I'm not sure the Phoenix supplies enough support to make up for the gap that is now formed in effectively every lane outside of solo here in this game. 3 levels at least. Literally everywhere except the solo lane. So the Valhalla Valkyries, let's see what they've got in the gas tank. Not much. Raffer down, up into the sky. Goes Zeros, looking for some damage on the snipes. Ducky may be able to get involved in this team fight. Panicat survives though, and Ducky will end up getting the kill, but at what cost? Well, it might just be the game. Zeros has to leave. Johnny is lurking in the back as well, and the Phoenix will ultimately fall to the 3 surviving members of the Jade Dragons.
They don't have a wave, so I don't think they can go in towards the Titan.
Oh, this
Mike,
just feels bad, huh?
not quite going to just win this outright
man.
up against Johnny, but he's got help coming.
He sure does. The rest of the team behind the Jade Dragons here, so it's only a matter of time.
Oh,
Oh, PBM gets it done. Sam did nothing there. Sam did nothing
Right.
there, so he'll get an assist because he was close by, but that's really PBM biding his time, grabbing himself a kill on the Valhalla Valkyries. Got a death in the death column for Panicat, but you've lost your left side of the map. Can't imagine the mid lane or right side Phoenix feels much better to defend here for the Valkyries.
No, I don't think it will. I mean, they just have no wave clear at all. And when you have no wave clear, you can't really defend your Phoenixes particularly well. So you're really looking for those all-ins. Rapper blinked in and created some noise, but ML really couldn't step up and help it any there and wait for the moment that the Dragons decide they're going to siege again.
I don't know. Maybe it's worth at this point because, although you and I think were casting a game a few weeks ago where it was all but over. And
yeah, it was Titans and Scarabs.
Right. I don't know if the deficit was quite like this. My God, Gore talked about a 2-tap. That's what Zeros nearly faced there. Crit in the build now for Sam for Soccer, so maybe feeling a bit situational on a build of that order. Rapper has to lurk in the waters alone. Nobody else in the fight is able to collapse here. Johnny on the left-hand side opens up the gate. Mid lane Phoenix is gone, but so is the health bar of Ducky, and there wasn't a defense here from the Valhalla Valkyries. They showed their face for a moment, and it looks like in just over 20 minutes, the Jade Dragons will surge on into the base of the Valkyries, and they'll tie up this set.
So they are still in there. The Jade Dragons that we saw the rest of the phase do still exist.
Good Lord.
They remembered what they did, and they...
Your eyes, if you're Johnny here. Some early scrapping in the dual lane is expected, but plenty of tankiness and disengage between both of the hunters here that maybe the kill pressure starts to feel a little bit less. But now, aggro, we've had really 2 games, and we'll get a 3rd game of data here on Gilgamesh. Oh, Hurrywind has to use the beads, and Gilgamesh right on cue walks on in, and they just body block out Hurrywind. Hurrywind's level 2, likely didn't have the flicker online and couldn't walk out of that one.
Nope, no flicker, no chance to survive. And probably should have held on. I mean, certainly should have held on to the beads in that spot, but probably just got surprised by both Zeros and Johnny coming around that corner. That's just good aggressiveness on that side of the map.
No! Oh man, I'm just wrong, huh? I thought there was going to be some fighting, but maybe not all that much killing going on. But the Jade Dragons then find some damage. And then if you're a Dragons fan, that's the immediate return that you were hoping would happen here in this game after a bit of a miscue there in the mid lane. Hurrywind going down. And you immediately find pressure over on the left. And now it could get worse here. PBM leaps in. Raffer stuck around. Mike searching for some damage, but at this point with Emilito rotating over, Raffer will survive, but the being walked at by Johnny, there's a good sense of this early game matchup between the Mercury and the Gilgamesh. Needs some time to Sam for Soccer. Now it's fine. Okay, who gets leapt upon by Gilg, but Final K will keep himself alive, and he'll back away. So Ducky, we'll see if he rotates over and grabs the blue buff here in just a second. But Final K already feeling some pressure, and it took a little while for us to see any of this, right? In game number 1, or game number 2, rather. Already trying to keep Final K within a manageable threshold here in game 3.
And Tyr is the type of pick that can do it because it sets up ganks so well. You just have such a long CC chain. You've got great sustain. You're willing to fight in that lane really, really consistently. So the Tyr pick I like here for Ducky, but it is risky on how well it scales or how well it might not scale come later stages.
Zeros has beads, Zeros uses beads, but Sam for Soccer is able to close the gap, and now just a waltz on into mid lane. Sam for Soccer just ticked over to level 5 with that. And I guess that's the threat right in this mid lane. You have Hurrywind early on.
Boom, ready. I'd be looking down mid lane if I were him.
That's right, somewhere to look now if Sam for Soccer is able to find his way, but instead it's the red buff now for Zeros and flies right on through. There's a disapparate for Zeros, but on the other side, Hurrywind awaits, and now it's a repeat of the mid lane gank just over by the red buff, and Hurrywind finds his first kill of the game. Sam for Soccer, his first assist now of the game. And Merlin starting to...
with some extra confidence, but on the other side, Soul does have lifesteal boots. Soul has some sustain built into the kit. Not going to be an easy solo kill by any means.
Now, but getting Sam for Soccer as well off to a good start here. Important in finding some value with this Mercury. We've got a jungle duel going on now. It's Johnny up and down, and Johnny finds the 1v1. Final K leaps over the wall to help out his jungler. But the true 1v1 goes over to Johnny, but it might just get worse here for the Jade Dragons. It's a collapse in from Raph, or a blink forward from Ducky. Nobody from the mid lane rotating over to help out the solo laner, and the Valhalla Valkyries make it a 2-for-1. Looks like an up and over from Emilito now as well. Ducky's got a double. What happens over here in the mid lane? Now with this Tyr picking up a couple of kills, this was the threat that we figured might be here for Ducky on the Tyr this game, controlling a lot of the aspects of this early game, and Emilito will survive with a sliver of HP. 18 health was the highest I saw, maybe a little bit more, but I'm not going to get a chance to breathe here. It's a run back for the 3rd time. Sam for Soccer and Hurrywind combined for a kill in mid.
Yeah, poor Zero is really getting the treatment so far in this one, 0-3, just 7 minutes in, but you've got a side of the map that's in a good position right now. It's that right-hand side, but Johnny not there anymore. Going to walk into Sam, and Sam had such a good game on this Mercury in game 2 of this set. He was all over the place, really impacting multiple lanes, and he's looking comfortable again on it here in game 3.
Talk about a 1-2 punch that we've seen. Now Sam for Soccer and Hurrywind combining time and time and time again, and Sam for Soccer is going to continue the onslaught here. Mike hits the axe, and down goes Emil. And the Jade Dragons, aggro, this is shades of game 2. You are nervous now if you're the Valkyries or a Valkyries fan, because it seems like the beast has awoken.
Valkyries are just so far behind. You got 2 level deficits in mid and in ADC.
Still bad in duo.
And it's just not looking good for the backline of the Valkyries. Now the good news is that Ducky's pretty big on this tier, so you'd hope that maybe they can make an impact there, but Sam has never once taken his foot off the gas pedal. He very clearly displeased with how they've been doing so far the last few games, the last few weeks. He is really turning it up.
3 levels ahead. Tends to help in that regard as well. Now, all Valkyries are going to take their opening here. It's a Greater Scorpion started up, but then left as Johnny tries to collapse onto Final K, but the distance was difficult there. Final K pulled back in to the Gilgamesh ultimate, but look at the damage that's been turned around. Ducky attempting to dive the tier 1 tower. Final K goes back through, but the heal is enough to keep Ducky alive for now. Final K sends 3 packing.
Really well played there by Fine. Just playing it nice and slow. Let's not make a mistake. We'll just sit underneath the tower. They can come to me if they will, and you're going to be able to do a lot of work anyways. So it's not too much of a concern. He's going pure tank, tank boots, Gaia, Warrior's Axe, and just going to let his base damage do the work for him.
Yeah, feels about standard there out of the soul lane. Hurrywind plucked over, immediately dropped kick back by Johnny. Great target selection there from the Valkyries, and they've gotten a pick. Or maybe the most priority target. Final K flies on in. Big knockup from the Coco, and Johnny drops down the whirlwind, but it's not enough to save his life, and now the rest of the Dragons collapse on through. It's a standout performance from everyone on the Dragons, but Fine OK starting to turn up here in the last couple of minutes. Ducky, your days are numbered, my friend, it feels, and it's going to be PBM picking up his second of the game.
And Raffer may have signed his own death warrant by going in to try and help.
That's 3, wow.
He does. It's 4 for 1 in
surrender.
favor of the Dragons. And that's just the problem, that you know that Hurwin doesn't have beads. You know that we can get this pick, and he's risked the Jade Dragons have.
Damn, you nearly broke me there in game 2, and you got it done now in game 3. It's not a cast with Dave if you don't break me at least once, and it's happened now 14 minutes in. Valhalla Valkyries, their tier 2 gets broken over here on the left-hand side. It's just going to get worse if PBM is able to walk at Emilito in this way. Zeros gets soloed over on the right-hand side. Let's see about the rest of this fight over here, though, as PBM will continue his onslaught. Is this going to happen? Emilito has to airstrike away. Sanford Soccer on a killing spree nearly went down to Johnny. Now Hurrywind caught between 2, or maybe 2 are on either side of Hurrywind here as Polar Bear Mike will send some damage through on the backside.
Mike's going to be tasked with finishing Raffer off himself. Oh no, Final Case here. Don't worry, he's diving the tier 2 tower and right in the right position. Ducky will eventually fall, and Emilito, they're able to come in with a strategy that's good enough to beat the Jade Dragons, because a lot of teams have been incapable of showing that so far. But this is what the Jade Dragons do.
And how about this for confidence? Sanford Soccer dashes into a 2v1, but is quickly reinforced by the rest of the team. Johnny will pause sidestep one of the shots there from Panda Cat, but the kill goes over nonetheless. Seems like a momentary collapse onto the FG now for the Jade Dragons, and I don't think there's much around an FG steal. Ducky has the ability to do it, should he find his way over this wall. So I'll build some tension nonetheless, despite the Jade Dragons feeling confident around this objective. But now Raffer and Ducky, or just Raffer, are going to start to put some pressure on the Jade Dragons, who have taken some damage from the FG. Ducky has taken a little bit more, though, from the Dragons, and has to use the up-down in order to escape. Sanford Soccer doesn't have the ultimate, so no gap closed just yet. FG has been delayed, but delayed is the key word there as the Dragons find their way on back. Raffer's going to get looked at here by Hurrywind and Sanford Soccer, the dynamic duo at it again. Looks like the FG will finally go over to the Dragons.
Yeah, nice attempts there by the Valkyries, and they do some good work, but ultimately the Dragons juggle the Fire Giant Egg.
It was on his checklist for today, and we take those, and so Mike and the rest of the Dragons, should you close out game number 3 here, you're more than welcome. As Polar Bear Mike gets engaged on, but the engage doesn't have all that much in it, as the Valhalla Valkyries have to scatter to the wind, and unfortunately Ducky is the last one left in range. Sanford Soccer uses the Aegis. Saw a small moment there. Ducky at least gets the Aegis out of Sam, but unfortunately in the meantime, tier 2 down all across the map as the Dragons will surge forward.
Sam had to back, but it's not going to deter the rest of the Dragons. They've still got such a staunch front line between the level 16 Fafnir. He's now a higher level than the rest of the Valkyries, for the record. And the level 17 Kakulin. They should be able to get a lot of space.
Zeros has no space. It's fine, okay. We'll walk on into the back. This is decimation of the highest order now by the Jade Dragons, as Raffer will take his fourth death of the game. Zeros has 6. Emilito will airstrike away, and the safe Jingwei still with 3. At this point, that's how methodical the Jade Dragons want to be. Ducky is in alone here, and the tier will fall, and it's a killing spree for the Fafnir. You gotta love that. PBM has almost as many kills as the Valhalla Valkyries have in total. It was 20 or so minutes there in game 1, and it's looking like sub 20 minutes here for the Jade Dragons in game 3, and the Dragons back in the win column in this set.
Look, was not the start that they wanted to this set for sure.